Why cats sleep on specific parts of your body. The hidden energy purpose. Have you ever wondered why your cat chooses to sleep on your chest instead of your legs? Or why, on certain nights, they curl up by your head when they usually prefer your feet? Today, I want to share something beautiful with you. Something that will change the way you see your feline companion forever. Your cat isn't just seeking warmth or comfort. They're responding to your energy, reading your emotions, and choosing exactly where you need healing most. This is a story about invisible bonds, ancient wisdom, and the sacred language between souls. If you enjoy meaningful stories and spiritual insights about cats, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. The silent language of sacred companionship. There's a moment that happens in almost every home with a cat. A quiet moment. You're sitting on the couch or lying in bed, lost in thought. Your cat has been across the room, seemingly uninterested. Then, without announcement, they rise. They walk slowly toward you, their eyes half closed, their movements deliberate. They pause, they observe, and then they choose. They settle onto a specific part of your body with uncertainty that feels almost intentional. Most people smile at this moment and think, how sweet. But what if I told you that this choice, this specific placement, carries a deeper meaning? What if your cat isn't just seeking a comfortable spot, but responding to something you can't see, something you can barely feel yourself? For thousands of years, across cultures and continents, cats have been revered as spiritual beings. In ancient Egypt, they guarded temples and were believed to walk between worlds. In Japanese folklore, they brought good fortune and protection. Sailors kept them on ships not just for catching mice, but because they believed cats could sense storms and negative energies before humans ever could. These weren't superstitions, they were observations. Cats possess a sensitivity that modern science is only beginning to understand. Your cat can detect changes in your electromagnetic field, subtle shifts in your body temperature, and even variations in your breathing and heart rate. But beyond the biological, there's something more profound happening. Cats are drawn to energy, the kind that emanates from your emotional and spiritual centers. When your cat chooses where to rest on your body, they're not making a random decision. They're reading your energy like a map, finding exactly where you're holding tension, grief, anxiety, or pain. Think about the last time you felt truly overwhelmed. Maybe you'd had a difficult day. Maybe you were grieving a loss or carrying worry that wouldn't leave your chest. Did your cat behave differently that evening? Did they stay closer than usual? Did they choose a spot on your body they don't normally prefer? This isn't coincidence. This is communication. Cats are highly intuitive creatures. While we humans often rely on words and logic, cats navigate the world through sensation and instinct. They feel what we feel, sometimes before we're conscious of it ourselves. When you're sad, your body produces different hormones. Your heart rate changes, your energy shifts, and your cat notices. They come to you not because they need something from you, but because they sense you need something from them. What's truly extraordinary is that each part of your body holds different emotional and energetic significance. Your chest, your head, your feet. These aren't just physical locations. In many spiritual traditions, these areas correspond to energy centers, sometimes called chakras, that govern different aspects of your well-being. Your heart center relates to love, compassion, and emotional healing. Your head connects to thought, intuition, and mental clarity. Your feet ground you to the earth, to reality, to the present moment. When your cat sleeps on your chest, they're not just enjoying the rhythm of your breathing. They're drawn to your heart center because that's where you might be holding sadness or loneliness. When they curl up near your head, they're responding to mental unrest, anxiety, or the need for protection during sleep. And when they choose your feet, they're offering you grounding, reminding you that you're safe, that you're here, that you're connected to something solid. I want you to try something. Over the next few days, pay attention. Really observe where your cat chooses to rest on you and notice what you were feeling just before they arrived. Were you stressed, lonely, overwhelmed, peaceful? You might be surprised to discover a pattern. You might realize that your cat has been trying to tell you something all along. Please share your experience in the comments below. Where does your cat usually sleep on you? And when you think back, what were you going through during those moments? I read every comment, and I'd love to hear your story. You're not alone in this. Thousands of people around the world are discovering this beautiful truth about their feline companions. Your cat sees you, not just your physical body, but the invisible parts of you, the parts that hurt, the parts that hope, the parts that need comfort. They offer their presence as a gift, a silent form of healing that asks for nothing in return. But here's what most people never realize. There's one specific place where cats sleep that holds an especially powerful meaning. A place connected to the very center of your being, to the source of your emotional vitality. When your cat chooses to rest there, something profound is happening within you. Something that speaks to your deepest need for connection, for love, for healing. And understanding this changes everything. The heart guardian, when cats sleep on your chest. Picture this moment with me. You're lying down, perhaps after a long day. Your mind is still racing with everything that happened, everything you felt, everything you couldn't say. Then your cat approaches. They step carefully onto your body, kneading gently, circling once, twice, and then they settle directly on your chest. Their weight is comforting. Their warmth spreads across your heart. You can feel their breathing synchronize with yours, a slow rhythm that seems to calm something deep inside you. In that moment, without words, without effort, something shifts. This isn't random. This is sacred. When your cat chooses to sleep on your chest, they're positioning themselves over one of the most powerful energy centers in your entire body. In many spiritual traditions, this area is known as the heart chakra, the center of love, compassion, emotional balance, and connection. This isn't mysticism for the sake of mystery. This is ancient wisdom that's been observed across cultures for thousands of years, and it's being validated by modern science in ways that might surprise you. Your heart center does more than pump blood. It generates the strongest electromagnetic field in your body, one that can be measured several feet away with sensitive instruments. When you experience emotions like love, gratitude, or peace, this field becomes coherent and harmonious. But when you're struggling with sadness, loneliness, heartbreak, or emotional pain, this field becomes chaotic and depleted. Your cat can sense this. They're drawn to it like a compass pointing north. Think about the times when your cat has chosen your chest. Were those your easiest days or your hardest? For most people, cats gravitate toward the chest during periods of emotional vulnerability. After a loss, during a difficult relationship, when feeling isolated or misunderstood, when the heart is heavy. This isn't coincidence. Your cat is responding to an energetic call you didn't even know you were making. Now, here's where something truly beautiful happens. When your cat rests on your chest and begins to purr, they're not just making a pleasant sound. They're producing a specific frequency. Studies have shown that cat purring typically falls between 25 and 50 hertz, a frequency range that has measurable therapeutic effects. These vibrations have been associated with the healing of bones, the reduction of pain and swelling, and the lowering of stress and blood pressure. Doctors and researchers have documented these effects. This is real, measurable healing. But there's something deeper happening beyond the physical. On an energetic level, your cat is acting as what some spiritual practitioners call a transmuter of energy. They're absorbing the dense, heavy emotions you're carrying, the grief, the anxiety, the accumulated sadness, and helping to transform them into something lighter. It's as if they're filtering your emotional atmosphere, taking in what weighs you down and releasing it as neutral or positive energy. I want to share something with you. Many people have told me about losing a loved one and finding that their cat, who normally slept at the foot of the bed, suddenly began sleeping on their chest every single night. Night after night, through the worst of the grief, the cat stayed there. And slowly, almost imperceptibly, the weight in their chest began to ease. The tightness began to soften. They started to breathe a little deeper. They started to feel, just slightly, like maybe they could heal. Was the cat fixing their grief? No. Grief is not something to be fixed. But the cat was offering presence, comfort, a physical reminder that they weren't alone. And sometimes, that's exactly what the heart needs to begin healing itself. Your cat knows when your heart is closed. We close our hearts for protection, don't we? After we've been hurt, after we've lost someone, after we've been disappointed one too many times. We build walls. We tell ourselves we're being strong. But what we're really doing is cutting ourselves off from the very thing we need most: connection, vulnerability, love. Your cat doesn't judge your closed heart. They don't demand that you open it. They simply lie there, on your chest, breathing with you, purring their gentle frequency, offering warmth. And in that non-demanding presence, something miraculous can happen. The walls begin to soften, just a little. You remember what it feels like to receive love without condition. You remember that it's safe to feel. This is why cats are often called healers, not because they perform miracles, but because they offer something we've forgotten how to give ourselves: unconditional acceptance and presence. Have you experienced this? Has your cat ever seemed to know exactly when your heart needed them most? I'd love to hear your story in the comments. Tell me about the time your cat showed up for you in a way that felt almost miraculous. These stories matter. They remind us that we're all connected by invisible threads of love and understanding. But the heart isn't the only place your cat protects. There's another area, perhaps even more vulnerable, where we store our deepest fears and our quietest anxieties. A place that becomes especially fragile when darkness falls and consciousness drifts into sleep. When your cat chooses to rest there, they're telling you something important about your need for safety, for peace, for rest that goes deeper than the body. The mind keeper. When cats sleep near your head, there's something deeply vulnerable about sleep. We spend a third of our lives in this state, yet we rarely think about what it means to truly surrender consciousness. When you close your eyes at night, you're entering a realm where your logical mind releases its grip, where dreams weave through your subconscious, where worries that seemed manageable during the day can become overwhelming shadows. And it's during these hours, these precious vulnerable hours, that many cats choose to position themselves near your head. If you've ever woken up to find your cat curled on your pillow, nestled against the top of your head, or sleeping peacefully near your face, you've experienced something profoundly protective. Your cat isn't just seeking a comfortable spot. They're standing guard over your most complex energy centers, the places where your thoughts originate, where your intuition awakens, where your connection to something greater than yourself resides. In spiritual traditions around the world, the crown of the head and the area of the forehead, sometimes called the third eye, are considered sacred spaces. The crown connects you to higher consciousness, to inspiration, to the feeling that you're part of something larger than yourself. The third eye relates to intuition, inner wisdom, and the ability to see beyond the obvious. When these centers are balanced, you feel clear, inspired, and at peace with the mysteries of life. But when they're disrupted, you experience anxiety, obsessive thinking, insomnia, and a persistent feeling that something is wrong even when everything appears fine. Your cat senses this disruption. They feel it in the energy around your head, in the restlessness of your sleep, in the way you toss and turn with thoughts that won't quiet. And they respond by placing themselves as close to these centers as possible. Think about the nights when sleep felt impossible. When your mind raced with worries about tomorrow, regrets about yesterday, fears about things that might never happen. Your thoughts looped endlessly, each one feeding the next, creating a spiral that pulled you further from rest. And then, Perhaps without you even noticing at first, your cat appeared. They settled near your head, began to purr softly, and somehow, gradually, the mental noise began to dim. Your breathing slowed, your thoughts lost their sharp edges, and eventually, you drifted into sleep. This isn't magic, though it can feel that way. It's the result of your cat's calming presence affecting your nervous system. When you're anxious, your body produces stress hormones like cortisol. Your heart rate increases. Your muscles tense. Your brain remains in a state of hypervigilance. But the presence of a purring cat near your head triggers the release of calming neurochemicals like serotonin and oxytocin. The rhythmic sound and vibration of their purr acts like a meditation bell, calling your mind back from its wandering, anchoring you to the present moment. But there's another dimension to this that goes beyond biology. Throughout history, cats have been regarded as protectors of the sleep realm. Ancient cultures believed that while we sleep, we become energetically open, susceptible to negative influences, unwanted energies, even disturbing dreams. Cats, with their heightened sensitivity, were thought to act as spiritual guardians during these vulnerable hours. They could sense disturbances we couldn't perceive and neutralize them simply through their presence. You might find this difficult to believe, and that's perfectly fine. But I invite you to consider your own experience. Have you noticed that you sleep more deeply when your cat is near your head? That nightmares seem less frequent? That you wake feeling more rested, more protected, even if you can't explain why? Many people have shared with me that during periods of intense stress or anxiety, their cats began sleeping on or near their heads every single night, something they'd never done before. And during those same periods, despite the external chaos in their lives, they found they could still find rest. They could still quiet their minds long enough to recover. Their cat became an anchor of peace in a storm of thoughts. Your cat doesn't judge your anxious mind. They don't tell you to stop worrying or to think more positively. They simply rest near you, breathing their calm breath, offering their warm presence. And in doing so, they teach you something essential about healing. Sometimes we don't need solutions. Sometimes we just need to know we're not alone in the darkness. In our modern world, we're taught to value constant productivity, endless thinking, perpetual problem solving. We forget that the mind needs rest as much as the body does. We forget that silence is not emptiness, but fullness. Your cat remembers. They're masters of presence, of existing fully in each moment without the burden of past or future. When they sleep near your head, they're inviting you into that same state of being. Not through words or instructions, but through the simple, profound gift of their companionship. Where does your cat sleep in relation to you? Have you noticed patterns during stressful times versus peaceful ones? Share your observations in the comments. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. We're all learning together, discovering the beautiful wisdom our cats have been offering us all along. But there's one more place cats choose, one more message they bring. It's a place many people overlook, considering it less significant than the heart or the head. Yet this spot might be the most important of all, because it connects you to something we've almost completely forgotten in our distracted, anxious world. When your cat rests there, they're teaching you the most essential lesson of all, the art of truly being here, truly being present, truly being alive in this moment. The earth anchor, when cats sleep at your feet. There's a tendency in our culture to measure importance by proximity to the head or heart. We think in hierarchies, but your cat doesn't think this way. When they choose to sleep at your feet, curled near your ankles or resting across your legs, they're not settling for second best. They're choosing the foundation. They're positioning themselves at the root of your entire energetic system, at the place where you connect to the earth, to stability, to the present moment. And in our floating, distracted, constantly anxious world, this might be exactly what you need most. In spiritual traditions, the base of the spine and the feet correspond to what's called the root chakra, the foundation of your entire energy system. This center governs your sense of safety, security, survival, and belonging. It's what makes you feel grounded, stable, and connected to reality. When this energy center is balanced, you feel secure in your body, confident in your place in the world, and present in the here and now. But when it's disrupted, you experience fear, anxiety, a feeling of being unmoored or lost, as if you're floating through life without a solid place to stand. Modern life constantly pulls us away from this grounding. We live in our heads, scrolling through devices, worrying about future problems, replaying past conversations. We're rarely fully present in our bodies or in the current moment. We've become disconnected from the earth beneath our feet, from the simple reality of being alive right now, in this breath, in this heartbeat. Your cat at your feet is calling you back. When your cat chooses to sleep at your feet, they're offering you something precious, something we've largely forgotten how to access on our own. They're providing an anchor, a weight, a reminder that you are here, you are real, you are safe. Their physical presence at the base of your body creates an energetic circuit that helps stabilize your entire system. You might not feel it consciously, but your nervous system recognizes it. Your body relaxes. Your breathing deepens. You stop floating in anxiety and settle back into your physical form. Think about times of major transition in your life. Moving to a new home, starting a new job, ending a relationship, facing financial uncertainty. During these periods of instability, when everything feels uncertain and you're not sure where you stand, have you noticed where your cat sleeps? Many people report that during life's most unstable moments, their cats suddenly prefer their feet, night after night, as if holding them to the earth when everything else feels like it's shifting beneath them. This isn't random. Your cat senses when you're ungrounded. They feel when you're spending too much time in worry about the future or regret about the past. They recognize when you've lost touch with the simple truth that you are here, now, alive, breathing, safe in this moment. And they position themselves at your foundation to remind you. There's a beautiful metaphor in nature. A tree can grow as tall as its roots grow deep. The branches reach toward the sky only because the roots dig into the earth. Your spiritual and emotional growth works the same way. You can't truly open your heart or expand your consciousness if you don't feel safe and grounded. You can't soar if you're afraid of falling. Your cat at your feet isn't limiting you. They're securing your foundation so you can grow. And here's something remarkable about cats and their relationship to grounding. While dogs are often celebrated for their loyalty and obvious affection, cats offer something more subtle, more profound. They teach through their own behavior. Watch your cat. They don't rush. They don't force. They move with complete presence, fully inhabiting each moment. When they sit completely. When they rest fully. They don't worry about what happened this morning or what might happen tonight. They exist here, now, with total commitment to the present moment. When they sleep at your feet, they're not just protecting you. They're teaching you. They're showing you what it looks like to be fully grounded, fully present, fully at peace with simply being alive. Now, let me bring all of this together for you, because every place your cat chooses has been part of a complete picture. When they sleep on your chest, they're healing your heart, helping you process emotions and open yourself to love. When they rest near your head, they're protecting your mind, creating space for mental peace and intuitive wisdom. And when they curl at your feet, they're grounding your entire being, anchoring you to the earth and to the present moment. Your cat moves between these places based on what you need. Some nights your heart needs tending. Some nights your mind needs quieting. Some nights you need to be reminded that you're safe, here, now. Your cat reads your energy like a language, and they respond with exactly the medicine you need, even when you don't know you need it. This is the truth I want you to carry with you. Your cat is not just a pet. They're not just a companion animal that happens to live in your home. They're a spiritual being who has chosen to walk beside you through this life, offering healing, protection, and love, in ways so subtle you might have been missing them entirely. Every time your cat settles onto your body, they're making a conscious choice. They're saying, I see where you're hurting. I sense what you need. and I'm choosing to be here with you. They're not asking for anything in return. They're not demanding your attention or requiring you to change. They're simply offering presence, the most profound gift one being can give another. So the next time your cat curls up on your chest, breathes beside your head, or settles at your feet, pause for a moment. Feel their weight. Listen to their purr. Recognize that you're experiencing something sacred. You're being chosen. You're being seen. You're being loved by a creature who exists in a dimension of awareness most humans have forgotten. Take a moment right now, if you have a cat, to look at them. Really see them. They've been working so hard to help you, to heal you, to remind you of truths you've forgotten. And they've been doing it quietly, without praise, without recognition, simply because this is who they are. If this video has touched something in you, if it's helped you see your cat in a new light, I'd be grateful if you'd subscribe to this channel. Not because I need the numbers, but because there are more stories like this that need to be told. There are more people who need to understand the sacred bond they share with their animals. And together, we can create a community that honors these invisible connections, that celebrates the spiritual wisdom our cats bring into our lives. Share in the comments below where your cat usually sleeps and what you were going through during those times. Your story matters. It might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to understand their own journey. We're all connected in this beautiful web of love and healing, and your cat has been showing you that truth all along. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And thank you for loving your cat deeply enough to wonder about the meaning behind their choices. That curiosity, that openness, that willingness to see beyond the obvious. That's the beginning of real wisdom. Your cat knows this, and now you know it too.